Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shmad Shri Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shmad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shmad Shri Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishtam Vishnupad Rashita Rashita Shmad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Vishta Mahabhagavat Srila Gokshwaras Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Vishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityal Vishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Patadash Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Surup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Ras Thakur Prem se ko Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaur Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradati Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kund Shyama Kund ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Oh, Srila Narahari Seva Vigraha Prabhu ki jai. Tadya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishupad Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Tadya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Itadadai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yam Pravrajantam Anupetam Apeta Kritam Dvaipayano Virahakatara Ajuhava Putreti Tanmayataya Taravo Bhinedu Sangsarva Bhuta Hridayam Munimanatosmi Narayanam Namaskrityam Narang Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Shrinvatang Svakatha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam Nashta Prayeshvavadreshu Nityang Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Tavai Vasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiptashtakama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dandavat Pranams Gargaraji, Ganga Didi, Rup Manjari Didi. Let me just see if this shared. I'm really sorry I'm so late. This is a record now for the latest I've been. But today we're only reading 3,427 words. And usually we read about 5,000, 6,000. So I think we'll still stop at the same time. So Dandavat Pranam Jumna Prabhu and Mantra Mataji. So let's just see quickly here. I'm just gonna go very quickly. These are the different topics that we spoke about the previous 2 days. Wait, we're reading from verse 24, 25. Okay. Okay, so we're continuing Gajendra's prayers to the Lord. First, he glorifies the Lord as being supremely powerful. He's the supreme origin, the supreme energy, the supreme energetic, completely transcendental. And he's supremely inconceivable. He is transcendental. It's not easy to understand him. And then it describes the qualifications to see him. Then the appearances of the Lord. The Lord, his external appearance as incarnations, his internal appearance as a supersoul, appearance by bhakti yoga, and the forms in which he appears. The Lord is the supreme shelter. The Lord is the supreme father, the supreme director, the supreme cause, the supreme enlightener, and supremely merciful. And then worshiping the Lord, the obstacles in the Lord's worship, motivated worship, unmotivated worship. And then the Lord is the supreme source of everything. His supreme attributes, he's the supreme creator, the supreme source and refuge, and his supreme identity. Let's see and now today we're going to read how the Lord is a supreme master. Let's just start with the previous verse. I'll just read this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead creates his minor parts and parcels, the jīva tattva, beginning with Lord Brahma, the demigods, and the expansions of Vedic knowledge, Sama, Rig, Yajur, and Atharva, and including all other living entities, moving and non-moving, with their different names and characteristics. As the sparks of a fire or the shining rays of the sun emanate from their source and merge into it again and again, the mind, the intelligence, the senses, the gross and subtle material bodies, and the continuous transformations of the different modes of nature all emanate from the Lord and again merge into him. He is neither demigod nor demon, neither human nor bird or beast. He is not woman, man, or neuter, nor is he an animal. He is not a material quality, a fruit of activity, a manifestation or non-manifestation. He is the last word in the discrimination of not this, neti, neti. And he is unlimited. All glories to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now starting from the verse. Jijivishenaham ihamuyakim antarbahischa vritaye bhayonya ichami kalena nayasya viplavas tasyatma loka varanasya moksham. I do not wish to live any more after I am released from the attack of the crocodile. What is the use of an elephant's body covered externally and internally by ignorance? I simply desire eternal liberation from the covering of ignorance. That covering is not destroyed by the influence of time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Oh, could I just check if my mic's working? forgot. Haribo and Dira Mataji Dandavat Pranams. Just checking. And Champak Didi and Madhavi Didi Dandavat Pranams, everybody. I'm just seeing my mic. Oh, it's not. Okay. Okay. So purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, every living entity is covered by the darkness of ignorance. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin that one should approach the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master, who is described and offered prayers in the Gautamiya Tantra as follows. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So I just want to see the... Okay. Yes. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Although one may struggle for existence in this material world, to live forever is impossible. One must understand, however, that this struggle for existence is due to ignorance. For otherwise, every living being is an eternal part of the Supreme Lord. There's no need to live as an elephant or man, American or Indian. One should desire only to achieve liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Because of ignorance, we consider every life offered by nature to be happy and pleasing. But in the degraded life within this material world, from the life of Lord Brahma down to that of an ant, no one can actually be happy. We are making so many plans to live happily, but there cannot be any happiness in this material world. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life. However, we may try to make a permanent settlement in this life or that. Oh, sorry, I read this wrong. No, I did. I read it right. Sorry. Okay. Sohang Vishva Srijam Vishva Avishvam Vishvavedasam Vishvatmanam Ajang Brahma Pranam Pranatosmi Parang Padam. Now, fully desiring the release from material life, I offer my respectful obeisances unto that Supreme Person who is the creator of the universe, who is himself the form of the universe, and who is nonetheless transcendental to this cosmic manifestation. He is the knower of everything in this world, the supersoul of the universe. He is the unborn, supremely situated Lord. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Purport. Sometimes, when Bhakti Yoga, Krishna consciousness, is preached to the common man, people argue, "Where is Krishna? Where is God? Can you show him to us?" In this verse, the answer is given that if we are sufficiently intelligent, we must know that there is someone who has created the entire cosmic manifestation, who has supplied and has become the ingredients for this cosmic manifestation, who is eternally existing, but who is not within the cosmic manifestation. Simply on the basis of this suggestion, one can offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. This is the beginning of devotional life. Yogarantita karmano riddhi yoga vibhavite yogino yam prapashyanti yogesham tang natosmaham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, the Supersoul, the master of all mystic yoga, who is seen in the core of the heart by perfect mystics when they are completely purified and freed from the reactions of fruitive activity by practicing bhakti yoga. Does it say bhakti yoga? Yes, no. Yoga randita karmana. Okay. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada added the word bhakti there. Purport. The king of the elephants, Gojendra, simply accepted that there must be someone who has created this cosmic manifestation and has supplied its ingredients.
This should be admitted by everyone, even the most determined atheists. Why then do the non-devotees and atheists not admit this? The reason is that they are polluted by the reactions of their fruitive activities. One must be freed from all the dirt accumulated within the heart due to fruitive activities performed one after another. One must wash off this dirt by practicing bhakti yoga. Yoga randita karmana. As long as one is covered by material nature's modes of ignorance and passion, there is no possibility of understanding the Supreme Lord. Tada rajas samo bhava kama lobha dayaschaye. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 1:2-19. When one is freed from the modes of ignorance and passion, one becomes free from the lowest qualities, kam and lobha, lust and greed. Nowadays, there are so many yoga schools to encourage people in developing their lusty desires and greed through the practice of yoga. People are therefore very much fond of so-called yoga practice. The actual practice of yoga, however, is described here. As authoritatively stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 12:13:1, Dhyanavastita targatena manasa prashyanti yam yoginaha. A yogi is one who always meditates on the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5:38. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yang shama sundaram achinta guna swarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shama Sundar, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their hearts of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. The bhakti yogi constantly sees Shama Sundar, beautiful Lord Krishna, with his blackish bodily hue. Because the king of the elephants, Gajendra, thought himself an ordinary animal, he thought himself unfit to see the Lord. In his humility, he thought that he could not practice yoga. In other words, how can those who are like animals in the bodily concept of life and who have no purity of consciousness practice yoga? In the present day, people who have no control over their senses, who have no understanding of philosophy, and who do not follow religious principles or rules and regulations, are nonetheless pretending to be yogis. This is the greatest anomaly in the practice of mystic yoga. Namo namastubham asahya vega shakti trayaya kiladhi gunaya prapanna palaya duranta shaktaye kad indriyanam anavapya vartmane. My Lord, you are the controller of formidable strength and three kinds of energy. You appear as the reservoir of all sense pleasure and the protector of the surrendered souls. You possess unlimited energy, but you are unapproachable by those who are unable to control their senses. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you again and again. Purport. Attachment, greed, and lust are three formidable forces that prevent one from concentrating upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These forces act because the Supreme Lord does not like to be realized by non-devotees and atheists. However, when one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the Lord, these impediments are withdrawn, and one can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Lord is the protector of the surrendered soul. One cannot become a devotee unless one surrenders unto the Lord's lotus feet. Then the Lord gives one the intelligence from within, by which one can return home back to Godhead. Nayam Veda Swamatmanam Yachakyanaham Diyahatam Tam Durataya Mahatmyam Bhagavantam Itosmaham. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by whose illusory energy the jīva, who is part and parcel of God, forgets his real identity because of the bodily concept of life. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glories are difficult to understand. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, every living entity, regardless of whether he is a human, demigod, animal, bird, bee, or whatever, is a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord and the living entity are intimately related like father and son. Unfortunately, because of material contact, the living entity forgets this and wants to enjoy the material world independently according to his own plan. This illusion, māya, is very difficult to surmount. Māya covers the living entity because of his willingness to forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead and make his own plan to enjoy this material world. As long as this contamination continues, the conditioned soul will be unable to understand his real identity and will perpetually continue under illusion, life after life. Ato griha kshetra sutapa vitar janasya moho yam aham mameti. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 5.5.8. As long as the living entity is not enlightened so that he may understand his real position, he will be attracted to materialistic life, to house, country, or field, to society, friends, family, community, bank balance, and so on. Covered by all this, he will continue to think, I am this body, and everything related to this body is mine. This materialistic conception of life is extremely difficult to surmount. But one who surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as did Gajendra, the king of the elephants, comes to enlightenment on the Brahman platform. Brahma bhuta prasanatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mar bhaktim labate param. One who is transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments, nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward all living entities. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. It's from Bhagavad Gita 1854. Since a devotee is completely on the Brahman platform, he is not jealous of any other living entity. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. How many? There's only 33, okay. Shishuka uvacha. Evam Gajendram upavarnitam nirveshishe. Right. Evam Gajendram upavarnita nirvishesham pramadayo vividha linga bidha bhimana naite dyapo yadopasa sripurnikilatmakatvat tatra kila maramayo harirāvirasit. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued. When the king of the elephants was describing the supreme authority without mentioning any particular person, he did not invoke the demigods headed by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, and Chandra. Thus, none of them approached him. However, because Lord Hari is the Supersoul, Purushottam, the personality of Godhead, he appeared before Gajendra. Purport. From the description of Gojendra, he apparently was aiming at the supreme authority, although he did not know who the supreme authority is. He conjectured, there is a supreme authority who is above everything. Under the circumstances, the Lord's various expansions, such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Chandra, and Indra, all thought, Gajendra is not asking our help. He is asking the help of the Supreme, who is above all of us. As Gajendra has described, the Supreme Lord has various parts and parcels, including the demigods, human beings, and animals, all covered by separate forms. Although the demigods are in charge of maintaining different aspects of the universe, Gajendra thought that they were unable to rescue him. Harim naiva mritam vi. No one can rescue anyone from the dangers of birth, death, old age, and disease. It is only the personality of Godhead who can rescue one from the dangers of material existence. Therefore, an intelligent person to get free from this dangerous existence, approaches the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not any demigod. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.20, Kamas taister hita jnana prapadyantenya devataha. Those who are unintelligent approach these demigods for temporary material benefits. Actually, however, these demigods cannot rescue the living entity from the dangers of material existence. Like other living entities, the demigods are merely external parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's transcendental body. As stated in the Vedic mantras Sa Atma Anganyanya Devata, within the body is the Atma, the soul, whereas the various parts of the body, like the hands and legs, are external. Similarly, the Atma of the entire cosmic manifestation is Narayan, Lord Vishnu, and all the demigods, human beings, and other living entities are parts of his body. It may also be concluded that since a tree lives on the strength of its root, and when the root is nourished with water, all the parts of the tree are nourished, one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original root of everything. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very difficult to approach, he is very near to us because he lives within our hearts. As soon as the Lord understands that one is seeking his favor by fully surrendering, naturally he immediately takes action. Therefore, although the demigods did not come to the aid of Gajendra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately appeared before him because of his fervent prayer. This does not mean that the demigods were angry with Gajendra, for actually, when Lord Vishnu is worshipped, all the other demigods are also worshipped. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied, everyone is satisfied. Yata taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujo pashakaha prano paharach chayatendriyanam tataiva sarvarhanam achyuteja. As pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses and the limbs of the body, so simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of that Supreme Personality. That's from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 4:31-14. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead is worshipped, all the demigods are satisfied. Tang tadvadartam upalabhya jaganivasa stotram nishamnya di vijay sahasangstuvadbi chando mayena garudena samo hyamanas chakra yudo Bhagamadashu yato Gajendra. After understanding the awkward condition of Gojendra, who had offered his prayers, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who lives everywhere, appeared with the demigods who were offering prayers to him. Carrying his disc and other weapons, he appeared there on the back of his carrier, Garuda, with great speed according to his desire. Thus he appeared before Gajendra. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur specifically hints that since Gajendra was in such a difficult position and was praying for the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods, who could have immediately gone to his rescue, hesitated to go there. Since they considered Gajendra's prayer to be directed toward the Lord, they felt offended. Wait a second. Srila Prabhupada just said the opposite here. Yasmin tushte jagat tushtam. But here he's saying, since they considered Gajendra's prayer to be directed toward the Lord, they felt offended. And this in itself was offensive. Consequently, when the Lord went there, they also went and offered prayers to the Lord so that their offense might be excused. Sonta sarasyurubalena grihita arto Trishtva garutmati harem ka upata chakram utkshipya sambhujakaram giramaha krichran Narayana kila guru bhagavan namaste. Gajendra had been forcefully captured by the crocodile in the water and was feeling acute pain. But when he saw that Narayan, wielding his disc, was coming in the sky on the back of Garuda, he immediately took a lotus flower in his trunk, and with great difficulty, due to his painful condition, he uttered the following words: O my Lord, Narayan, Master of the universe, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. The king of the elephants was so very eager to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead that when he saw the Lord coming in the sky, with great pain and in a feeble voice, he offered respects to the Lord. A devotee does not consider... The devotee does not consider a dangerous position to be dangerous, for in such a dangerous position, he can fervently pray to the Lord in great ecstasy. Thus, the devotee regards danger as a good opportunity. Tatenu kampam susamikshamana. When a devotee is in great danger, he sees that danger to be the great mercy of the Lord, because it is an opportunity to think of the Lord very sincerely and with undiverted attention. Tatenu kampam susamikshamano punjana evatma kritam vipakam. It's from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10:14-8. He does not accuse the Supreme Personality of Godhead for having left his devotee fall into such a dangerous condition. Rather, he considers that dangerous condition to be due to his past misdeeds and takes it as an opportunity to pray to the Lord and offer thanks for having been given such an opportunity. When a devotee lives in this way, his salvation, his going back home, back to Godhead, is guaranteed. We can see this to be true from the example of Gajendra, who anxiously prayed to the Lord and thus received an immediate chance to return home back to Godhead. Tang viksha piditamaha aja sahasavatirya sagrahamashu sarasa kripayo jahara grahar vipatita mukad arina gajendrang sampashyatam hariramut amumuchar uchriyanam. Thereafter, seeing Gojendra in such an aggrieved position, the unborn Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, immediately got down from the back of Garuda by his causeless mercy, and pulled the king of the elephants along with the crocodile out of the water. Then, in the presence of all the demigods who were looking on, the Lord severed the crocodile's mouth from its body, and he severed the crocodile's mouth from his body with his disc. In this way, he saved Gajendra, the king of the elephants. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 3rd chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender. All right, so we ended early. We started 15 minutes late and we ended 8 minutes early. That's great. So, I know Indira Mataji has to go because there's a program for Srila Bhakti Baba Puri Goswami Maharaj's appearance day. But if anybody doesn't mind going a tiny bit over time, I wanted to read an article by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Let me just find it. I sent it out on the Gaudiya Kirtan mailing list once. So let me just log into my Gaudiya Kirtan account. Now you guys can see from the back end where my MailChimp account. I was planning on doing this yesterday, but since I started so late today, I thought I would skip it, but it seems like there's time now. So let me pains. Where is it? It's called Arohavad, I thought. Hey. Oh, there it is. I got 203 opens. Okay, view email. Okay, let me make it in this view. Edit. View. Okay. So this is written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and then translated into English. Editor's note. Editor's note. What is Arohavad? Oh, sorry. The words Arohavad and Avarohavad literally mean the ascending, the Aroha path, and the descending, the Avaroha path. The former refers to depending on one's own abilities to elevate oneself to a higher stage of existence, while the latter refers to depending on help from above to become elevated. Question 1. What is Arohavad, or the ascending process? Answer. The policy of Arohavad is like Ravan to attempt to construct a stairway to reach heaven. That kind of uphill work is most puzzling. He wrote that in English in the original article, the word puzzling. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, it has been prescribed that this uphill work, namely trying to construct a stairway to heaven, be abandoned. On one end of the spectrum is attempting to force the sun to become visible at night by using lanterns, and on the other end is prayerfully waiting for the sunrise and then viewing the sun by way of its own rays of light. If we hanker for temporary objects of enjoyment, we are bound to become followers of the path of Arohavad, compelled to endeavor to acquire gyan or perform karma or yoga. But endeavors on the path of Arohavad will always remain incomplete. A 20-year-old civilization shall surely prove to be deficient and fault-ridden in comparison to a 100-year-old civilization. And the knowledge and culture of a 200-year-old civilization shall at once be rejected in favor of the knowledge and culture of a 1,000-year-old civilization. In fact, intelligent men do not pursue the ascending path, Arohavad, in any of their activities. Rather, they are Avarohapanthi, followers of the descending process. Question 2. Can the mentality of inductive reasoning, Arohavad, be permanently relinquished? Answer. As long as someone maintains the mentality that he can fully depend on his own strength and abilities, his own self-confidence, and his own understanding, he will be unable to surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan, and he will have great regard for the notion of argument and reasoning, Arohavad, as long as the notion of surrender, he'll have great regard for the notion of argument and reasoning, Arohavad, as long as the notion of surrender has not manifested in his heart. Only when someone realizes the insignificance of his own ability to support himself, the worthlessness of his proud self-conception, and the ineffectiveness of his own endeavors, can he surrender himself and accept the path of receiving help from above, of Arohavad. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam recounts the history of Gajendra, the king of the elephants. Once Gojendra was passionately engaging in water sports within a lake along with all of his wives. Due to his wild stamping, he was a threat to all the other living beings in the lake who lived in a constant fear of being trampled to death by him. But then, a very powerful crocodile suddenly appeared from within the lake and caught hold of the leg of the intoxicated Gajendra. A fierce fight ensued between the elephant and the crocodile. It was so severe that it continued to rage even after 1,000 years had passed, since they were both trying to display their might by overpowering the other. Gradually, however, Gojendra's strength began to diminish. As he lost his power, his madness, bravado, and self-pride. As he lost his madness, bravado, and self-pride also began to wane. When Gojendra, who was hopelessly trapped by the crocodile, saw that there was no way for him to escape, he realized that the most beneficial course of action. I don't know why I'm having a hard time reading all of a sudden. When he saw that there was no way for him to escape, he realized that the most beneficial course of action for him was to accept the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Like the proud elephant, as long as the jīva considers his insignificant existence to be important, he follows the path of Arohavad. But when the glories of surrendering unto the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan manifest within his heart, he accepts the path of surrender, or Arohavad. All the sadhus preach only the path of surrender. They never instruct us to adopt Arohavad, the ascending process. However great a person may be, if he follows the path of Arohavad, considering it to be auspicious, he is bound to fall down. Krishna is the sole shelter of all. The belief that anyone else can provide us such shelter, the belief that anyone can provide us shelter can never protect us. That was from the Srila Prabhupada Upadeshamrit, the Nectarian Instructions of Srila Prabhupada. It's a book of questions and answers. It's nice though, huh? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Shishi Guru Guranga Gandhar Vikagiri Dhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmad Srila Bhakti Viranta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmad Srila Bhakti Viranta Vaman Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupad Rashata Rashata Shmad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitila Pravishtam Maha Bhagavat Srila Gokshara Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nitilapavishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitilapavishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gaurya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath. Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जाय. सर्व अभिष्ट विराट गिरिराज महाराज की जाय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय. श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय. श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय. श्री नरहरि सेव विग्रह प्रभु की जाय. तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि की जाय. नितिल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् श्रील भक्ति वैभव पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जाय. तृतीय शुभ आविर्भाव तिथि की जाय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जाय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो. वृंदाय तुलसीदेवाय प्रियाय केशवाय च कृष्ण भक्ति पददेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Dandava pranams everybody. Oh wow. This picture Rup Manjari sent. She sent a few pictures. Whoa, let's check this out. Okay, this is from yesterday. Okay. Oh yeah, Indira Mataji also sent this picture. Sorry, I didn't go back here. Here's another one. Huh. That's a really neat picture. I don't ever remember seeing this picture before, actually. And then, let's see, there's another picture from Manjari Didi. Wow, these must be ancient. That's a really tiny Gajendra. Cool. This is Madhvacharya's Udupi Shri Krishna with special Gajendra Moksha Alankar. Oh yeah, see, look, there's the crocodile and Gajendra. Huh. Alright. Let me just go to the comments. 1 second. Alright, Dandava pranams everybody. Hari Bol.